You guys ready to hear the story? Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there existed two kingdoms locked in an endless war. On one side stood the kingdom of Brother Dagotlol, known for its cunning strategies and swift strikes. On the other side stood the kingdom of Big Slaw. Sorry, I thought I got possessed. Renowned for its brute strength and relentless assaults. For centuries, these two kingdoms clashed, leaving devastation in their wake. Villages were destroyed, fields laid to waste, and countless lives lost. Amidst this chaos, a prophecy emerged, foretelling the coming of a lost prophet who would bring an end to the conflict and restore peace to the land. This prophet was known as Yaga. Yigit Yaga was said to possess extraordinary powers granted to him by ancient gods. Blech, I'm gonna throw up. I lied.
Can you continue the damn story?
I'm working. You know?
Hey.
No, James, I won't. As the war raged on, whispers of the prophecy spread throughout the kingdom. Both Brother the Goat Lol and Big Slime sought to find and harness the power of Yigit for their own ends.
My internet's back.
Power of
Internet's
Yigit!
back. Internet's
Shut
back.
up!
And
Shut
so
the
then
fuck
basically Yigit kept going forward and onward, and Yigit got really powerful,
Guys.
and then he disappeared.
I don't
Shut
care.
up!
Dude.
No,
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah,
start over.
yeah, here it goes.
Fucking Kevin messed it
not
up.
start over. It's the power of Yigit for their own ends. The dispatch scouts, sorcerers, and spies to scour the land in search of the lost prophet. Meanwhile, hidden away in a remote village, a young man named Yigit grew up unaware of his destiny. He lived a humble life, helping his family tend to their farm and dreaming of adventures beyond the horizon. Little did he know that he carried within him the power to change the course of history. One fateful day, as Yigit worked in the fields, a band of soldiers descended upon his village. They had learned of his existence and sought to capture him, believing him to be the lost prophet of the prophecy. In the chaos that ensued, Yigit's true nature was revealed as he unleashed a torrent of magic upon his attackers, driving them back. I know, right? Yigit's power.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Realizing the truth of his identity, Yigit embarked on a quest to fulfill the prophecy and bring an end to the war. Along the way, he faced trials and tribulations, encountering allies and adversaries alike.
Well, obviously.
But through courage, wisdom, and power of his newfound abilities, Yigit persevered. Eventually, Yigit reached the heart of the conflict, where Brother the Goat Lol and Big Slime clashed in a final, cataclysmic battle. With the fate of the kingdom hanging in the balance, Yigit stepped forward, his presence radiating with divine energy. In a moment of awe-inspiring brilliance, Yigit unleashed his full power, casting a spell of peace that enveloped the battlefield. Brother the Goat Lol and Big Slime. Brother the Goat Lol will now be called Brother because I don't feel like saying all that. And Big Slime. Once bitter enemies stood transfixed as the magic washed over them, filling their hearts with understanding and empathy that they had once lacked. And so, the prophecy of Yigit, the lost prophet, was fulfilled. The war that had ravaged the land for generations to come to an end, and a new era of harmony and cooperation dawned. Under Yigit's guidance, the kingdoms of Brother and Big Slime joined forces, using their strength not to conquer, but to protect and nurture the world as they shared. And then I asked the prophet whenever he was telling me this story, because it was getting real intense. You guys heard. But Yigit's nowhere to be found today. So I had asked him, like, well, what happened to Yigit after Yigit went missing and the war rekindled?
Yeah.
And
That's a really important
he responded with very wise words.
What was the
He told me the next story of, after Yigit went missing, the land plunged back into chaos, as the fragile peace that he had brought had shattered. Without his guidance and hope he represented, old animosities resurfaced, and the kingdoms of Brother and Big Slime resumed their bitter conflict with renewed ferocity. The absence of Yigit left a
my
void
gosh!
that both sides sought to exploit. Brother and Big Slime intensified their efforts to gain the upper hand, launching devastating attacks and deploying dark magics in their bid for supremacy.
No, I heard you
The
the first
once thriving never mind, I don't want to tell the story no more. Yeah.
There's a block of
Sorry.
fruit,
Dude, this sounds a lot like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Like, that was right. That's what I was thinking whenever I was reading it.
But, no, this is its own thing. This is not.
Yeah, this is its own thing. Okay.
This
is its own thing.
Is the act of like yigiting or like
yes.
yigging?
Yigiting.
Is it yigiting?
It's yigiting.
Is it
Yigiting.
Yeah, yigiting.
Everybody knows that, dude. I yigit all the time.
Come on.
Thriving villages and towns were once again laid to waste, and the people suffered under the weight of war. In the absence of the lost prophet, rumors and legends about his fate spread throughout the land. Some believed that Yigit had perished, while others claimed that he had abandoned his destiny and fled into hiding. Regardless of the truth, his absence only deepened the despair felt by those who had once placed their hopes in him. As the conflict dragged on, it became increasingly clear that neither side could claim victory through brute force alone. The toll of the war weighed heavily on both kingdoms, draining their resources and weakening their resolve. Yet stubborn pride and ancient grudges prevented them from seeking a peaceful resolution. Amidst the chaos and despair, a glimmer of hope remained. Whispers of the prophecy of Yigit, the lost prophet, persisted, offering a sliver of optimism to those who dared to believe. Though he was gone, his legacy endured, inspiring a new generation to seek an end to the cycle of violence and forge a path toward reconciliation.
Is this the part you omitted?
Can you? No.
No, it's not, okay?
Sorry.
Don't ever say that again.
What do you mean?
Cycle of violence and forge a path towards reconciliation. And so, even in the darkest hour, the memory of Yigit served as a beacon of hope. A reminder that peace was not beyond reach. Whether his return would come to pass or remain a distant stream, the story lived on, a testament to the power of courage, compassion, and enduring quest for a better tomorrow. And it went. Without the guidance and influence of the prophet Yigit, the war-torn land faced a bleak and uncertain future. The endless cycle of conflict between Brother and Big Slime continued, unabated, leaving devastation in its wake. The once thriving cities lay in ruins, their streets haunted by the ghosts of those who had perished in the fighting.
Fucking monkey, dude.
Villages were abandoned, their fields overgrown with weeds as the survivors fled in search of safety and solace. With each passing day, the toll of the war grew heavier. Resources dwindled, economies collapsed, and once proud civilizations teetered on the brink of collapse. The people, weary and broken, struggled to find hope amidst the despair that gripped the land. In the absence of a
Please be quiet.
Did you just interrupt me again? Don't even want to go there.
Wait.
You know what? Let me give you a glimpse of what could happen. This guy.
Oh my gosh! Freddy!
What?
Let's go! Freddy!
In the absence of a unifying figure like Yigit, factions within each kingdom vied for power, leading to internal strife and betrayal. Trust eroded, alliance fractured, and the bonds that once held society together were stretched to their breaking point. Outside forces took advantage of the chaos, launching raids and incursions into war-torn land, further destabilizing an already precarious situation. Desperate refugees sought refuge beyond the border. Hey, sorry, don't interrupt me, don't interrupt. That's strike one.
2 more and you're out.
Yeah, 2 more and strike me is out. only to find themselves turned away by neighboring kingdoms, wary of being drawn into the conflict. Sorry, guys, this part just gets really tough for me.
Go ahead.
Amidst
you're
the
ready.
darkness, however, small glimmers of hope persisted. Brave individuals, inspired by the memory of Yigit and the ideals he represented, rose up to challenge the status quo. They sought to build bridges instead of walls, to heal wounds instead of inflicting new ones, and to forge a path toward reconciliation and peace. Though the road ahead would be long and arduous, these champions of change refused to give in to despair. They believed that even in the absence of a prophet, the power to shape the future lay in their hands. And so they worked tirelessly to sow the seeds of a new beginning, one where the scars of war would serve as a reminder of the need for unity, compassion, understanding. Sorry.
Okay. Please proceed with caution.
Okay. So then, me and the prophet, once again, we took a little break. He was really emotional, as I'm sure you could like tell. Like, it's really emotional for me because I'm just like remembering how he was telling the story and how sad his eyes looked and stuff. It was just tragic. But so we sat there in silence for a moment as he gathered his thoughts, and I asked him, will the world end if Yigit doesn't return? Because I just had to know the truthful answer. Were we doomed, or is there hope? And he said, the world wouldn't necessarily end if Yigit doesn't return, but the consequences could be dire. Without Yigit's intervention, the ongoing conflict between Brother and Big Slime could escalate to catastrophic levels, leading to widespread devastations, loss of life, and irreparable damage to the land. The war could spill beyond the borders of the warring kingdoms, dragging neighboring regions into the conflict and sparking a large-scale war that engulfs the entire continent or even the world. Such a scenario could lead to economic collapse, political instability, and the rise of tyrants and warlords exploiting the chaos for their own gain.
So basically the end of the world.
I mean, basically, that's what I was thinking whenever the prophet was saying it, but, he's the all-wise one, so I didn't want to argue with him.
That shit.
Kind of yapping, bro.
Definitely, the prolonged conflict could have been devastating. Environmental consequences such as deforestation, pollution, and the depletion of natural resources, further exacerbating the suffering of the people and wildlife alike. Furthermore, the absence of a unifying figure like Yigit could leave the people without hope or direction, leading to a loss of faith in their institutions and a breakdown of social order. This could result in widespread unrest, lawlessness, and a descent into anarchy. Ultimately, while the world may not end in a literal sense, the failure to resolve the conflict and the absence of Yigit's influence could lead to a world plunged into darkness and despair, where the dreams and peace and prosperity remain forever out of reach.
Oh my
Question.
goodness. That was a lot to take in.
Yeah. If everyone tabs into Discord, please, I can show you the map. There it is.
I'm in the middle of fighting. Oh my gosh, that gorilla just killed me.
Okay, so which is which?
So
Oh.
so
I see
you
the ice.
see
The
Tilted
ice
Towers
king.
right there,
That's the.
I do.
and that is where Brother the Goat Lol's kingdom is. And
Okay,
do you
gotcha.
see where is it again? I get lost around here
Polar
sometimes.
Peak?
Oh,
Yeah, gotcha.
Shifty Shafts and Salty Springs. They actually both kind of were part of Big Slime's kingdom because they were like they worked in he basically like separated his kingdoms, right?
Wow,
So he
that's
ruled over those two places, so that way his power still equaled Brother the Goat Lol's, but it was in two places instead of one. You know,
that's very
Okay,
impressive.
okay.
Two different
Yeah.
biomes.
And
I thought it was like
said
regional.
like has it. I'm not here to confirm or deny things, but legend has it that volcano in the top right, that's where Yigit was born.
It's
Wow.
like the whole
Wait,
Avatar.
I was-
Look, we have
Also,
fire,
that
water,
volcano actually
ice, and
ties into
like,
two
I
things.
don't know.
Actually,
He said something that intrigued me, right? He said that Big Slime had been slumbering for quite some time, and that he wasn't in his true form yet, right? Which confused me a lot. I was very like, what do you mean by that? He's already like really powerful. Turns out that we were about to awake him, guys.
Uh-oh.
this is for
I asked him after hearing that and catching my eye. I had asked him what happened when Big Slime was awoken from his everlasting hibernation by a boy who enraged him. When Big Slime was awakened from his everlasting hibernation by a boy who inadvertently enraged him, chaos ensued. Big Slime, an ancient and powerful entity. Not even a guy, guys. This whole time we thought he was just a normal dude. No. No. He's an almighty ancient being
Uh-oh.
who had slumbered for eons, his colossal form resting beneath the earth.
Oh!
See that map? See that map? He was below it.
Oh!
I heard part of him broke off from Polar Peak at one point.
Yeah.
I heard there was a whole like event. He flipped the island and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I heard about that too. Whenever the unwitting action of the boy disturbed his rest. Enraged by his abrupt awakening, Big Slime emerged from his slumber with a furious roar.
do it.
his massive form casting a shadow over the land. The ground trembled beneath his feet. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. As he unleashed his wrath upon the world, seeking vengeance for the disturbance of his eternal sleep. The boy, realizing the grave mistake he had made, fled into terror. As Big Slime's fury swept across the land, villages were crushed beneath his colossal feet, forests were laid to waste by his mighty blows, and rivers ran red with the blood of those who dared to oppose him. And what's so funny?
Why? Hey, this isn't a funny story. Why are you
what's
laughing?
so funny?
Because I remember the first.
Mighty blows the river ran red with those who oppose him. As word of Big Slime's awakening spread, panic gripped the populace, and the kingdoms trembled at the thought of facing such a formidable foe. Desperate pleas for aid echoed across the land as leaders sought to rally their forces against the ancient terror. But Big Slime was unstoppable, his rage unquenchable. With each passing day, his power grew stronger as he consumed everything in his path, leaving only destruction and despair in his wake.
Wow.
And then the prophet, he went on a little like off topic for a minute because he had like finished that story, I guess. So then I asked him like what would happen if the new Big Slime, like awoken Big Slime, came into contact with Brother the Goat Lol. The new awoken Big Slime came into contact with Brother the Goat Lol. Tensions reached a boiling point. Brother, known for his cunning strategies, saw the emergence of Big Slime as both a threat and perhaps an opportunity. Seeing the immense power of Big Slime, Brother recognized the potential to harness that power for his own ends. He saw an opportunity to use the ancient being as a weapon against his enemies, to finally gain the upper hand in an endless conflict that had plagued the land for centuries. Brother dispatched his most trusted advisors and sorcerers to make contact with Big Slime.
What?
Big Slime offering contact with Big Slime, offering allegiance and promise of wealth and power in exchange for his allegiance. He sought to manipulate the ancient being to do his bidding, believing that Big Slime, on his side, victory would be assured. But Big Slime was not so easily swayed. As an ancient and powerful entity, he was not beholden to the whims of mortals. He had his own agenda, his own desires, and he would not be used as a pawn in brothers' schemes. When the missionaries of Brother approached Big Slime, they were met with thunderous roar and display of raw power that left them trembling in fear. Big Slime made it clear that he would not be controlled and that he would not bow to the will of any mortal, no matter how powerful they may think themselves to be. I had asked him what would happen if Brother the Goat Lol found out about his long-lost twin brother, not to be confused with brothers. His name is Brothers with a Z at the end.
Who was
Just
added
previously into the
moment ago.
group. Yeah.
Twin brother.
What the
Who
fuck?
is also an So, we asked the prophet what would happen if Brother the Goat Lol found out about his long-lost brother named Brothers, equal of power to the awoken Big Slime.
Oh,
Because it turns out his long-lost twin brother was also an ancient being.
whoa.
If Brother the Goat Lol were to discover the existence of his long-lost twin brother named Brothers, we'll call him B for short. So that way, they don't get too confusing.
Why don't you
while
just
I'm
call his
reading this.
brother's brother?
Brothers, brothers.
Get this guy out of here.
Brother's brother.
That makes
Pretty
sense.
good. Brother's
This guy out of
No,
here.
I see where he's coming from.
To discover the existence of his long-lost twin brother named B, equal in power to the awoken Big Slime. It would introduce a new dynamic to the conflict-ridden land. At first, Brother might react with disbelief or suspicion upon learning of B's existence. The revelation of a twin brother, especially one of equal power, could challenge his sense of identity and place in the world. Yet, as the truth sank in, sink, Brother might see an opportunity in this newfound kinship. With B by his side, Brother could envision a scenario where they could join forces to finally achieve the shared ambitions of conquest and domination. Together, they could wield unimaginable power, crushing any who dared to oppose them, and ruling over the land with an
Continue.
iron fist. However, the emergence of B could also spark internal conflict within Brother's kingdom. Rivalry and jealousy might arise, as those who had pledged their allegiance to Brother now vie for favor with his equally powerful twin. This internal strife could weaken Brother's hold on power, leaving him vulnerable to external threats. Moreover, the presence of B could draw the attention of other factions within the land, including those who had long opposed Brother's rule. They might see in B an opportunity to tip the balance of power in their favor, either by forming alliances or attempting to sway B to their cause. As tensions mount and the stakes escalate, the fate of the land hangs in the balance. Will Brother the Goat Lol and B unite to realize their shared vision of conquest, or will the differences tear them apart, plunging the land into ever greater turmoil? Only time will tell as the story unfolds and destinies of these powerful brothers are revealed. And then the prophet disappeared. I didn't see him for a whole year. He left me on that cliffhanger.
So strange.
Once he returned, I asked him right away, because I just didn't know what else to do. I was scared for my life. So I went straight in head first into the question, could this land be saved by the ritual of Yigit week to summon the long-lost prophet, who is now only a myth as he had been lost for millenniums? And so he responded with, The idea of invoking the ritual of Yigit Week to summon the long-lost prophet, even if he has become a myth over millennia, carries a sense of hope and possibility. The ritual, steeped in ancient lore and forgotten magic, might be the last remaining hope for salvation in a land ravaged by conflict and chaos. As whispers of the ritual spread throughout,
What
they
the?
cling to the belief that Yigit, the legendary prophet of old, may yet return to guide them out of darkness and into a new era of peace and prosperity. But invoking the ritual of Yigit Week is not so simple of a task. It requires the gathering of ancient artifacts, video games, the mystery of forgotten insinuations, memories, I don't know,
Oh
staying up
shit!
late.
Sons of the Forest is
We
now
forgot.
$20.99 instead of $29.99.
Oh, hey, we have that game. I made Franny really angry. And the cooperations of both allies and adversaries alike. Also, the group chat. It is a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty, with no guarantee of success, like Kevin failing his final. People of the land come together to embark
Hey.
on this daring quest.
Not cool.
Find strength and unity and determination and in the face of adversary, us staying up late to work together to fight this. They refuse to succumb to despair, choosing instead to place their faith in the possibility of a better future, thus us staying up really late for a whole week. And so, as the week-long ritual unfolds, drawing upon the collective hopes and dreams of the people, a glimmer of light begins to shine amidst the darkness. Whether Yigit answers their call or remains forever lost to the annals of history, the mere act of coming together to seek salvation offers a flicker of hope for a land on the brink of ruin. And so then I asked, because the ritual sounded very scary for us to be attempting.
Can I ask
So I
something
asked
real
him,
quick?
oh, yep, let's hear it, James.
Why did we choose the final week to do this? Why couldn't we do this like a week after finals?
Are you retarded?
Shut up.
You get weak. And then he said, if the people fail to complete the ritual of Yigit Week, the consequences would be dire for the already beleaguered, I don't know how to say that, land. Without the intervention of the long-lost prophet, the cycle of violence and destruction that has plagued the land for generations may continue unchecked. The failure of the ritual would dash the hopes of the people, leaving them without a beacon of light in the darkness. Despair would grip the populace as they face the grim reality of an uncertain future. Let me finish reading the consequences, okay? The land would descend further into chaos as villages are razed, the fields are laid to waste, and the countless lives are lost in the relentless pursuit of power. Internally, the failure of the ritual could lead to the unrest and discord among the people. Factions may emerge, each vying for control in the vacuum left by the absence of Yigit. Trust between allies and erode, and old rivalries could flare up once more, plunging the land into even deeper divisions. Externally, neighboring kingdoms and factions may see the weakness of the land as an opportunity for conquest. Without the protection and guidance of Yigit, the land would be vulnerable to invasion and exploitation, further exacerbating the suffering of its people. And then Big Slime, the awoken Big Slime, along with Brother and his twin B, would wreak havoc along the whole world if the other nations got involved. In the end, the failure of the ritual of Yigit Week would leave the land teetering on the brink of collapse. The dreams of peace and prosperity that once seemed within reach would remain forever out of grasp, as the people are left to confront a future overshadowed by despair and uncertainty.